I'd always had people doing things for me, and I'd never really learned to do anything on my own. And so hiking up Moose Peak was really a test on how confident I was and how much I could push myself and how much I could motivate myself.
Well, when she left, she came back a different person. She seemed more independent. She came back and she was like gung-ho about she's going to start applying for colleges, she's going to do better in her grades, her GPA is going to go up. I mean, it was just like, I was like, who is this little person that came back? I mean, it was like, what happened?
But after I came back from that trip, I knew that no matter what I had to do, I had to go to college. I had to do that next step, because when I was climbing those mountains and everybody was encouraging me, I knew that there was something more. They believed in me, and I had to believe in myself.
But I know one time we were coming down a mountain pass. We had just come over the top of it, and it was probably the most arduous day for me the entire time that I was in Donner Pass. And the only option was to swim in this extremely cold, like way colder than any lake we had ever been in. Basically, everybody had tried to get into it. They stayed in there for 5 minutes and came running out of it just because it was that cold. And yeah, I just decided to take a 2-hour swim. That's how cold I was. And then from that experience, I actually got the nickname Polar Bears.
I think what the Woods Project provides is the skills that they need for future jobs, college, and being able to work together. So what it gives them is the confidence to lead other kids to do well in school and in their social life.
Downhill, there's a root by your left foot. Root by your left foot.
That was the great thing about this trip, that it wasn't just, oh, this one thing that was amazing, or that one part during the day. It was just like every part during every day. There was something new that you were learning, something, that you were seeing, something new that you were seeing that you didn't even, that you have seen in pictures. Like, I had seen, obviously, mountains in pictures, but then I was seeing them live, and I would think, is this real life?
I had never seen such beautiful scenery. I had never seen such great environments, and I wanted to protect that. I think the fact that I was exposed to as a high school student and as a student in general, I want to be able to do that now as an adult and spread it to other kids, let them know, now you're the next generation. You're the one who's going to be able to take care of it and really protect what's really beautiful and keep it that way for your children and your grandchildren.
You look at where you started at and look at where you've come, and then you're amazed with yourself, because you're just like, we walked this far, and what's a couple more steps, you know what I mean? And it's amazing when you can actually see the work that you've done. And I know it's not much to say that I know people out there climb mountains like with rock climbing gear and stuff like that, but for a kid who was a junior in high school, for me to say that I climbed over 2 mountains in one day was quite the feat to be able to say, and I still am to this day very proud of that. And I think you start to take pride in your work, and you want to do things at the best of your abilities all the time.
Yaneli, you just finished climbing Half Dome. Tell me about it.
On the way up here, I was gonna give up like 2 times, but it's totally worth it coming up here. I have done a lot of things I haven't done, and I would never have done if I would come here. And I think everybody should do it. Like when something is hard and you just want to give up, like on your career, you can just remember everything gets better at the end.
The entire trip was just one of the most life-changing experiences for me, because I realized just how much potential I had and how much of a leader I could be.